The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Game Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost. Ben Kimmel for bettors. A reminder, you can sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN to get a $5 deposit match bonus. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Game Podcast Network. It is currently Sunday afternoon, 5 p.m. Eastern Time on May 11th. I'm your host, episode Scott Reichel, once again joined by Lonte Smith together and break down the games for the Monday card. 11 games, I believe, so we're going to break down each of them in a second. But Lonte, I'll start with you. How's your weekend going? How's your Mother's Day going?
Not bad, man. It's pretty gloomy down here, but overall, just pretty good. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I don't know if we have a ton of women listeners, but if they are out there, Happy Mother's Day to them. And
All three of them.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, man, I'm doing good. Just locked in and ready for a new week, and hopefully we can keep the show rolling on a good note.
Yeah, so I have a brief Mother's Day story to share. So yesterday, I was getting a Mother's Day gift, and I wasn't sure what to get my mom. So I decided, you know what? Let's get her some alcohol. So I was going to get her some white wine, and then I ended up getting some advice from her boyfriend that I should be getting some rum instead. So I ended up deciding, okay, I'm like, all right, cool, works for me. Can't complain. I got her a card as well, of course, obviously, because you need the card. So I walk in, I end up getting the rum, and then I'm at the the actual checkout area to pay for the rum. And I see that they had some scratch offs on the edge of the counter there. So I'm like, you know what? Sure. So I pay for the rum. I end up getting a scratch off. Like, $2, whatever, I'll pay for the scratch off. Screw it. Scratch off the scratch off in the place. Made $20.
Oh wow,
And I'm like, all right, there we go. That's a
plus
sign that I
18.
made the right choice.
Yeah,
So if I got her an actual, gift like flowers or something, then I wouldn't have won a scratch off. So there you go. That's the
it's a good.
universe's way of telling me that I
Yeah,
made the right choice.
that's
But
true.
yeah, so that was my Mother's Day story there. I'll be going out to dinner with her later. But still, either way, I know it was definitely a solid day so far in baseball. Yankees are up 6-0 right now. Felt like there were a lot of lopsided games today.
Mhm.
In fact, I believe only one game so far has been decided by one run. I think every game besides that's been decided by multiple runs. But point is, still a lot of games that are going on right now. Hopefully, we end up getting some dramatic finishes.
Yep.
Twins game is in extras right now, so that's fun too. But either way, been a pretty fun day, I'd say, for sports. If you like soccer, El Clasico is pretty fun too, with Barcelona coming back and winning. But either way, a point is time to get into the games here for the Monday card. Before we get into any of the games here on Monday, a reminder that you can also check out the new line of merchandise on the SGPN website. We have a lot of great, of course, merchandise for the MLB Gambling Podcast as well. But the DGens line of gear is live in the merch store, and celebrate, we're giving away 20% off everything with the promo code DGens at checkout. Anyway, time to move on into the actual games for the Monday card. Lonte, we're going to start off with the Brewers game against the Guardians, interleague action. We have the Brewers laying 135, Guardians are plus 115. You have Peralta going up against Lively. Peralta has a 2.18 ERA, and Lively has a 3.46 ERA. For the over-under, I see 8. I just said in the last series that the Brewers playing the Rays felt like looking in a mirror. This is kind of the same thing, but
Yeah,
Cleveland's better. But
yeah.
Cleveland's better than Milwaukee, but it's kind of the same idea. So I'm going to go with Milwaukee, though, in the first 5. I'm just not a Lively guy. If you want to go for Cleveland plus money, I don't mind that approach, but I think Lively's been good lately. Do I think he's a great pitcher in general? Not really. Think I like the first 5 under, though. I kind of see a low-scoring start to this game, but I do think Milwaukee, in my opinion, is worthy being a favorite with Peralta compared to Lively. But I'm only going to go for the first 5. I don't trust Milwaukee's bullpen at all. Give me the Brewers first 5 with Peralta on the mound. Don't mind the under though in the game.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't hate that at all. I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna take Cleveland. I mean, Lively 1 or less in 3 of his last 4. He's got a low K rate, so he does allow a decent amount of contact. But Milwaukee's not been playing particularly well offensively over the last few series. They've scored over 3 runs just 4 times in the last 10. Peralta's dealing with a little bit of a groin strain, but he's been good nonetheless, coming off 6 scoreless. But I trust Cleveland at home. They're 10-4 at home. They've scored. Their offense has been really good. They scored 5+ runs in 6 of the last 7. They're 7-3 in the last 10. Lively's either been really good at home or really bad. He went 0-4-0-4 allowed in his last 4 home starts. So I'm banking on him being somewhere in the middle there. So I'm going to take Lively and Cleveland at home.
Yeah, I understand the angle for plus money. Lively has been good lately, but I still I mean, if you dig through the advanced numbers for Lively, I don't want to say a miracle he's been good lately, but a lot of the numbers suggest that he has overachieved up to
Mhm.
this point. So maybe Milwaukee gets to him, maybe not, but I think Peralta can go well. So I didn't mind the under as well at 8 for this game. Moving on to the game between the Red Sox and the Tigers. Now, for this game, you have Hauk against Job. Two pitchers who have not been great this season. Job was actually fine earlier in the year and then kind of got shelled the last time out. 3 2/3, 6 runs against the Rockies. Start before that, 4 innings, 3 runs against the Astros. However, the Tigers have actually won every single game he's pitched in the season. They are 6-0 when Job does end up pitching. But for the actual money line here, they are both minus 110. And the over-under in this game, I see at 8 or 8.5. Now, Hauk's been a mess this season, 0-2,
Mhm.
6.1 ERA. However, he was actually okay the last two outings, 11 2/3, three earned runs allowed. So he's been better lately. Job, though, has been getting a lot of run support, and it does seem like he is starting to regress to what we thought he might be this season, which was, I'd say, an average pitcher, give or take. But for this one, I actually don't mind the over in this game. I think that Howe can struggle. Detroit's offense has been fine lately, but you're looking at the Red Sox, who I think can wake up offensively against Joe based on his recent performances, and I do think that this line is pretty cheap at 8. I see 8.5, but I see FanDuel hanging in 8. So I'll go with the over at 8. That total feels a bit low. I can see both teams reaching 8 just by 4 apiece or in a couple of different ways, but 4 apiece you get extras guaranteed for a win. I think 4 each is reasonable, so I'll go with the over in this game.
Yeah, I like Detroit. I like the over as well. I said this in the last episode as well, but I think Detroit's being, priced not like how they've been playing. I mean, they've scored 7+ runs in 7 of the last 10. They're playing extremely well, taking advantage of a weak schedule. That's why they've won 8 of the last 10. But I mean, they played one of the tougher schedules in the MLB early on, so they're balancing that out and they're taking advantage of it. Job had, you mentioned it, his worst start of the year. He's been really good at home. 2 runs or less allowed in all of his home starts. I just can't figure out Boston, to be honest. Like, I don't really know what to make of them. Hauk's not been good on the road. He's allowed 4+ in 4 of his last 6 on the road. Not too good of offenses as well. And although Detroit was a question mark coming in offensively, they've been just hitting the ball extremely well. So I'm going to take Job at home. I think it's a little bit of a cheap price, so I'll take them at home. And I like the over as well.
Yeah, it feels like Boston's a team that should be better than they actually are, but they're kind of
Yeah,
just treading at this point.
right,
If I
right.
asked you how you feel about Boston, you'd probably say meh, and they're
Yeah,
22 and
exactly.
20. That sounds about right.
Exactly.
Like they're 22 and
Exactly.
20. So
Yep.
I think Boston at the end of the day might be a playoff team at the end of the year. Detroit, I know that division kind of just heated up immediately because Kansas City's been good. They're looking at the Tigers, who've been really good. Detroit right now might be my pick to win the American League. It might switch over the course of the season, but right now I do like how Detroit is built at this point in time. So I think I can agree with you there, but I do think with Job's recent struggles, I'm a little bit scared off by wanting to back Detroit because I
That's
think
fair.
that Job can get shelled here. So I'm going to go with the over instead at 8 for this game. Moving on to the next game against the Phillies. Now for this game, we'll get a matchup between Liberatore and Sanchez. The Phillies are massive favorites, minus 185. You have the Cardinals at plus 155. The over-under in this game is set at about 8 as well. And for the actual run line, if you want to go for it, you can get the Phillies minus 1.5 at plus 114. Now, you're looking at Liberatore's numbers, pretty good. A 3.07 ERA, great his last couple outings. He has allowed less than 3 earned runs in 5 straight starts. As for Sanchez, he's been great too. 4-1, 2.87, 2.89 ERA. He's also given up less than 3 earned in 5 straight starts. Think you're going to see a low-scoring game here. I understand Philly's offense has been good recently, but Liberatore's actually been okay. I thought about the under in this game. First 5 under, I don't mind. It may be a juiced 4.5. I think that's a pretty realistic, I'd say, option if you want to go for it. It might be a little bit of juice. 4 at even money, maybe, could be intriguing as well. I see a low-scoring start to the game. I think I would have to swallow my pride, though, and go with the
Yeah.
Phillies minus 1.5 at plus
Mhm.
115, give or take. But I do think the first 5 under could be intriguing based on how good these pitchers have been. So give me the under and give me the Phillies minus 1.5.
Yeah, so I'm going to take the first 5 under as well. I wanted to take the full game under, but I don't really like.
That Phillies
It's
bullpen,
dangerous.
I'm good.
Yeah, it's dangerous. I think both pitchers have been playing it really well. I think you laid it out perfectly with their numbers over the last few weeks. Liberatore, I like. He's been going 6+ innings in 6 of his last 7, so that's keeping that bullpen away. Even though St. Louis's bullpen has been playing extremely well over the last 10. ERA under 3. It's at 2.87, so that's continued to grow. The offense has always been pretty consistent throughout the year, and I do think that it travels, and if they can get Liberatore to go 6 here, limit the bullpen action, I think they'll be fine. It just Philly, they burned me again this weekend. Sanchez has probably been one of their more consistent pitchers. They're returning from a two straight road series trip. They were 4-1 in those 5, playing really well. And I mean, Sanchez has had some walk issues. Maybe St. Louis can take advantage of that. So I'll go first 5 under, and I'll take St. Louis, just a flyer on St. Louis to win the game.
Yeah, it might be a decent price if you actually have faith in Liberatore to pitch well again in this one. Moving on to the Pirates against the Mets. Now, for this game, you have the Mets who are laying 145. It's Skeens Day, though, and Skeen is a dog, which might be surprising to some. But Skeens makes sense. He's been fine ERA-wise this season, 2.77 ERA, but he does have a 3-4 record. Mets, though, I said before, favored. Peterson's been fine this season, and the over-under is set at 7.5. Now, Pittsburgh was able to win the finale against the Braves on Sunday. Overall, a decent weekend for them, but we know they're still not a very good team. I'll ask you, though, for this matchup, because you're not used to seeing plus money associated with Skeens, but I think it makes sense. I'd go Pittsburgh first 5, if anything. But the Mets are really good at home, so it's kind of difficult to find much.
Yeah, you usually don't get a ton of value on Skeens, but this is interesting. I mean, he has had some walk issues. He got 8 walks in his last 2. He's been really like elite on the road, but I don't know if I can trust Pittsburgh, man. They played in 3 straight road 1-run games on the road. There was a good series win versus Atlanta. I thought they played extremely well there. They're hitting under 205 in the last 10, averaging about 3 runs per 9 in that span. The bullpen is always the issue. So like you said, it's going to be first 5 or nothing. I like Peterson. His hit rates have been a little bit high. He's at 7. He's allowed 7+ in 3 of his last 5, but he's been good at home. If you just pair that up, I think I'll take the Mets at home. I mean, really elite team at home. They hit the ball extremely well. They've been hitting the ball extremely well over the last 10. So I'll take the Mets. Maybe the Mets is probably the right price just because of Skeens, but I'm just gonna have to take the Mets. And if you want to play like Pittsburgh first 5, Mets full game, I wouldn't talk you out of it.
Yeah, I feel like that's been one of our calling cards on the show, is taking the first 5 and the other team to win when Skeens pitches, and it actually has worked out pretty well so far this season. I understand why the Mets are favored. I just feel like Skeens at plus 120 is pretty appealing, and he could potentially just shove. So I'll go Pittsburgh first 5, but not really a strong opinion on that game either way. Anyway, before we get into the remainder of the games on Monday, a reminder that we are brought to you by our sponsor, Circa Ultimate Fantasy Football Giveaway, because Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas giving away the Ultimate Fantasy Football experience. And a reminder that you can also use the potential contest if you are a member of a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and to be treated like a VIP for your stay. Want to receive a 2-night stay at Circa for the entire 12-person league? You can also hold your draft at a Cabana Stadium Swim with a $5,000 food and beverage credit, limo transportation to and from the airport, a welcome party at Legacy Club for the league, a reservation at the World Tour Sportsbook with a $500 beverage credit for the league, and a 2-hour open bar package at the league at Overhang Bar. Contest is from May 5th to June 30th. Enter at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA. We're also brought to you by EdgeBoost, the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring that all given transactions are approved. They have no usage fees, no imbalance, also earn cash rewards, 100% approval for all betting deposits. You can also sign up at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN and use the as a limited time offer. Deposit $25 in EdgeBoost to match a deposit. EdgeBoost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Underdog because they just launched their new game mode ladders, 1 up to 500 times your entry. By watching your favorite players climb the ladder, when you do sign up for your new account with Underdog Fantasy, use the promo code MLB SGPN to go on a special pick and a first-time deposit offer up to 1K bonus cash. A fantasy promo code MLB SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through the first couple games on the Monday card. Time to keep it rolling with the Nationals taking on the Braves. Now, for this game, you have Irvin against Holmes. For the money line, Braves are minus 175. You have the Nationals at plus 145. For the over-under, I see 8.5. If you want to go for the actual run line, you can find it Atlanta minus the 1.5 at plus 122. Holmes this season's been kind of up and down, 2-3, 4.58 ERA. He was good for a couple outings, but he's kind of been, I'd say, treading recently. Last 3 starts, he has gone about 17 innings or so, giving up 12 earned runs. So not exactly pitching that well. Nationals have been okay. Or look at the actual record for Washington, and once again, it is decent as they are 17-24. It's not great, but Washington's been a bad team for years. So 17-24 is actually okay for their standards. Irvin, though, has actually been pretty decent. 3.94 ERA, was good last time out. He was great in pretty much every outing except for the Phillies outing in the last month. So he has given up less than 3 earned runs in 4 of his last 5. So he hasn't been good lately. I'll back the Nationals. I think Holmes has been kind of shaky lately, and the Braves have not been that, I'd say, impressive over the weekend against Pittsburgh. 175 with Holmes not pitching that well feels steep to me. Give me Irvin plus 145.
Yeah, that's a steep price. I wanted to bet Atlanta here, but they've been a little inconsistent from series to series. They kind of get things going here, and then they fall back and maybe lose a series like they did this weekend. They've been alternating losses and wins over the last 5 games. They typically hit the ball well at home. They just haven't so far. I think they're under 220 at home. They're actually hitting under 210 in their last 10, under 3 runs per 9 in that span as well. I think both pitchers are pretty comparable. The one thing that separates them is the bullpen. Washington's bullpen is horrible. And Irvin's been giving you a lot of distance. So, like, he's been giving you 6+ innings in 5 of his last 6. So he has to go that distance to limit the bullpen. So if he can do that, I think they can stay within range, but I'm not going to take that risk at all. I'm going to take Washington in the first 5.
Yeah, I do think it's a good approach there, too. Atlanta's bullpen, though, has also been shaky lately, so I don't know if I trust either bullpen in this game.
Yeah, that's true.
So either way, point is I think there's some value on Washington for this one. Moving on to the next game on the card, you have the Marlins against the Cubs. Now, for this game, it should be a pretty interesting matchup because the question, of course, is will the Cubs be a biddable price in any capacity? Because they're minus 235. You have the Marlins at plus 195. Quantrill is against Rhea. And for the over-under, I see the line being set at around 8. Juice on the over. And for the actual run line, Cubs minus 1.5 is minus 110. Quantrill, I think, is atrocious. However, he was good last time out as he actually shut down the Dodgers of all teams. 5 innings, 1 run. Now, the start before that, he got shelled by the Dodgers, but we are not going to talk about that for a second. On the road, he also has been bad. So far this season, on the road, he has a 7.64 ERA. So not good. He has been better at home than on the road. But I am going to ask you, I think I like Cubs minus 1.5. The Mets did a good job against the Cubs this weekend, but the Mets are also a very good team at home. Cubs, I do think, are going to get some revenge here. Miami's not any good. Quantrill's not any good. I think Rhea's okay. Good enough for me. Give me the Cubs minus 1.5.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like their team total to go over. Struggling a bit, 1-4 last 5. Offense has been a bit up and down, but I think in this spot against Quantrill, they'll be able to mash him. He's coming off a great start versus the Dodgers, but he hasn't. He's faced a tough level of offenses, so that kind of is what. I mean, he's not good. Don't get me wrong, but the reason why his numbers look so bad is because of who he's faced. But I think the Cubs will be able to mash him here. Rhea's coming off his worst start of the season. He's been pretty solid versus pretty good offenses prior to that. But I think the Cubs, I think this is a series they kind of exercise some demons here and get things going, especially on the offensive end. So I like the Cubs minus 1.5. Also like the team total to go over.
Yeah, I think that the Cubs could tee off on Quantrill. They could tee off on anybody, honestly. This offense is still really good.
For sure.
But Quantrill's going to struggle in this outing. Moving on to the next game, going to go to the Rockies. Don't look now, but they're actually winning a game. After losing the first 2 games by about 90 runs, they are actually winning in the 9th inning right now. But they're going to see if they can potentially win 2 in a row as they take on the Rangers. Rangers are laying 275. Rockies are plus 225. You have Molly against Dollinger. For this one, Molly, 3-1, 1.48 ERA. He's been incredible. Dollinger, like the rest of the Rockies rotation, is terrible. A 7.71 ERA. For the run line, Rangers are minus 125 on the minus 1.5. For the over-under, I see 8.5. Look, I understand that Marquez pitched well for a game. Congratulations. You had lost, I believe it was 6 or 7 in a row by multiple runs. Your team is arguably worse than last year's White Sox team.
Yes,
You're 2-17 on the road. The Rangers are starting to play better. give me the Rangers -1.5. Molly's very good. This team pitches well at home. The Rockies are bad everywhere, even at home this season. Not going to overreact to one game. Give me the Rangers -1.5 at -125.
Completely agree with you. I actually like their team total to go under. Molly's he's got one combined run in his last 4 home games, so he's pitching really well. Quietly been one of the better pitchers in the MLB, just kind of under. I guess he's not getting a ton of coverage because Texas has not been, at the upper echelon. But they're playing better as of late. Offense picked up a little bit over the weekend. Dollander under 5 innings pitched in 3 of his last 4. He's allowed 5+ in 3 of those 4 games as well. I think Texas offense maybe can wake up here. Only thing you need is about 2 or 3 runs here with Molly. I think Colorado struggles to get to 3 runs, so I'll take their team total under as well.
They're going to be too busy celebrating with the champagne after the win today that they're not going to be ready to play tomorrow.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on to the next game. You have the Royals taking on the Astros. For this game, you have Waka against Valdez. Astros are -120. Royals are even money. Valdez has been underwhelming, 3.94 ERA, but I will point out that he was very good in his last outing, as he allowed 1 run to Milwaukee over 7. He has allowed less than 3 runs in 3 of his last 4, so he has been kind of turning it around a bit more. As for the Royals in this one, Waka, I'd say, has been fine this season, but you're looking at his last couple outings, he has given up no runs in 2 of his last 3, but he has been better at home than on the road this season. So I do think he might be due for some regression here. I'm going to go with the home team here, actually. I'm going to go Houston. I understand Kansas City was very good during their winning streak, a lot of home games involved. They were not great over the weekend against the Red Sox. I thought that they were meh, and they ended up losing the series. They're not a good road team. It's the same thing as last year. They're kind of a night and day difference home to road, so I am going to go with the Astros here, who I thought responded well after giving up what felt like 30 runs in the first 2 innings yesterday. They won the game today, so I like how they've been playing. I think Valdez goes well. Give me the Astros at home, -120.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over. I like the Astros as well, though. I think both pitchers are somewhat about the same, like as far as how they've been as of late. You mentioned Walker's struggles on the road. If you look at Fromber, his hit rate has been fluctuating, so 3.7, 3.7 in his last 4, so maybe he's somewhere in the middle. 5 of his last 6 starts have been on the road. So he hasn't pitched at home much. But I think offensively, I think both teams should be able to get a little bit off of each pitcher, and maybe you'll get to the bullpens, and then we'll have a couple more runs being put across. I mean, Kansas City took 2 of 3 in the April series. I thought both teams pretty much were about even in that 3-game stretch. But I think at home, Fromber's coming off a good start. I think he'll go well. So I like Fromber at home. I do like the over in the game as well, though.
Yeah, I found the total a bit weird, though, because both pitchers with their numbers, I thought it was going to be 8 or potentially like a juiced 8 under. It's at 8.5, which I thought was kind of interesting. So I kind of thought about the under, but I didn't really like it. So instead, I'll just go with Houston in this game instead. Moving on to the Angels against the Padres. Padres off a loss to the Rockies, but they won the overall net scoring by about 60. For the, once again, money line here, Padres -215. Angels are +180. You have King against Kikuchi. King's been great, 4-1, 2.22 ERA. Going to make a lot of money during the offseason. Kikuchi, though, has not been very good. It's why he's bounced around a bit. Most teams don't have faith in him, but his ERA is okay for an 0-4 record, 3.83 ERA. For the over-under, I see 7. And for the run line, I do see the Padres -1.5 at +105. Give me the run line.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend too much time making a case for the Angels. This team's horrible. I do think you're looking at the Padres, who might be pissed off. They actually did not sweep the Rockies after dominating the first 2 games. King's been incredible. Kikuchi's not been very good. I see a good spot for San Diego. We know this team's good at home anyway. Give me the Padres -1.5 at plus money. They're 14-4 at home. That's good enough for me. Give me, once again, Padres +105 on the -1.5.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, not going to rewrite the wheel. And I think San Diego hits lefties pretty well. You said it's Kikuchi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think San Diego is just...
That's 7, though, so I couldn't really consider an under there. You know?
Yeah, I would look at the team total over for San Diego as well. I mean, I think they can go well here, especially coming off of what we perceive to be a loss. Yeah, I think they take their anger out on the Angels. The Angels are atrocious, man. They really are. So I like the better team at home. San Diego, they're coming off of a road trip as well. It's a short road trip, but they're coming off a road trip as well. So I like San Diego bounce back and get a couple runs, get maybe like 7 or 8 runs here. So I'll take them on the run line as well.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game, you have the Yankees taking on the Mariners. Yankees right now are up 6-1, so we'll see if they can actually win the series against the A's. Probably, but with that bullpen, you never know. You have Schmidt against Hancock. For this one, the Yankees minus 130, the Mariners are plus 110. For the over-under in this game, I see it being set at 8. So, at first glance, I like the over in this game. Schmidt has not pitched much this season, and when he has, he's not been that good. Now, he was good against the Padres last time out. In fact, he was good the last 2 outings. Has had some walk issues, though. But the Yankees have won 3 of his first 4 outings, so I guess you can make the argument the Yankees do well when he pitches. As for Hancock, not the biggest fan. I think that he is, in my eyes, a below-average starting pitcher. You're looking at his numbers 1-1, 5.7 ERA. However, he was pretty good recently. He has allowed less than 4 earned in 4 straight. So you have seen both pitchers look better as the season's gone on. The Yankees, though, I think are, in my opinion, priced correctly in this outing. I think that Schmidt right now, if I had to price him, would be viewed as the better pitcher compared to Hancock. But I'll ask you, because I feel like this line feels kind of accurate to me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to back the Yankees at minus 130 because this team's been, I'd say, frustrating? Because besides Judge, you're waiting for guys to step up. The offense was good against the A's over the weekend. The A's also play in a very hitters-friendly ballpark.
Right.
The Mariners, not so much. The Yankees also historically have had some weird moments in Seattle over the years. I think I'll go Yankees, but I don't feel great about this game. So I'll go with the Yankees, but I'm probably not going to bet it.
Yeah, I think it's appropriately priced. I do think both pitchers are kind of maybe splitting images of each other. Hancock's been solid since he got rocked in his first start versus Detroit, but he doesn't have a lot of swing and miss stuff, and that could be, that could be concerning when you're facing the Yankees. Smith's been better as the last 3 earned in his last 11 innings pitched, so he's settled in a little bit, but I still don't trust him. 130, I think, is a perfect number if I had to make one. Hancock's played 3 straight quality starts. Seattle's offense has been really good. I know that was a question for the past few years, but they've answered the bell. So I expect to see a lot of runs here by both of these teams. So I'm just going to leave the money line out of it and just go completely with the over.
Yeah, I don't mind that too. I think the total feels a bit short, but both guys have been good lately, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Moving on to the final game on the card, matchup between the Diamondbacks and the Giants. So you're looking at the Diamondbacks, who have been okay this season, as they ended up having a pretty fun series against the Dodgers over the weekend. But they're 11-19. Giants are 24-16. Kelly is against Verlander. Giants minus 115. The Diamondbacks are minus 105, and the over/under in this game is at 7.5. Now Kelly, looking at the last couple of starts, he has been fine. He was very good, and then he had a bad outing, or I should say an okay outing against the Mets. 6 1/3, 3 runs, I guess, is not that bad. But Kelly has been pitching better recently, and you're looking at Verlander, who was really bad early in the year, but has kind of turned it around to some degree, as the Giants are going to be hoping that he can keep it together. 4.5 ERA, but he has allowed less than 4 earned in 4 straight. However, the Giants have not been good when he's pitched. In fact, the Giants have only won 3 of the 5 out. They're 3-5 when Verlander does pitch. So we'll see how they look in this one. For this game, though, the Giants over the weekend were not very good, as they ended up getting swept, I believe, by the Twins. Now they're back home, so we'll see how they look. But I do think, based on talent, Arizona probably should be favored in this game. I don't think that the Giants should be laying after getting swept against the Twins. They burned the entire bullpen today in extras, and Verlander, we know, has been shaky for the most part of the season. I think Kelly's better than Verlander in 2025, and I do think Arizona's offense is better if you're asking me based on talent. Give me Arizona. I think the wrong team might be favored in this game.
Completely agree with you. Verlander, I can't figure out Verlander, but he's been extremely solid over his last 4. 3 of his last 4 have been quality starts as well, but I just can't figure him out. And again, San Francisco's kind of sliding a little bit, but Arizona on the other end, I mean, Kelly's been really good, man. He's had 2 or less in 5 of his last 6. His hit rate's been extremely low. He's not allowed over 1 run on the road in his last 3. And he's pitched against quality offenses like the Cubs, the Mets, the Phillies, the Yankees. Although he did have a bad start against the Yankees. But he's pitched against high-quality offenses, so I don't think he'll be moved by any chance, by any measures here. Not a ton of travel involved with the short trip from Arizona down to San Francisco. So I completely agree with you. I think the price should be a little bit heavier for Arizona. So I like the D-backs on the road.
Yeah, they almost won the series against the Dodgers. Unfortunately, the bullpen fell apart in the, of course, first game, which was Ohtani hitting that absolute bomb.
Mhm.
But either way, they won the game yesterday 3-0, and you're looking at what could be a pretty interesting spot. Now, I do want to point out that the Diamondbacks, sorry, trying to find, they're down 2-0 right now, so they might end up losing the series. They fought valiantly, as far as I'm concerned. So I like how they're playing. Giants were not good over the weekend at all. So I think it's a good spot for Arizona. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for all the 11 games on the card here for Monday. Now it's time for the Lock and Dog picks. For that, the reminder, they're brought to you by Rhythm because they are the home of ADVERTISE picks and pros, also available for the NBA playoffs and the MLB prop market. So you can dominate those with Rhythm. A reminder, you can also build your own model, very simple and easy to do. You can also try it for free for a week by using the 7-day free trial. And a reminder, you can also use their discount codes. They have a discount code for the month and for the year. For the month, 25% off the monthly subscription with promo code SGPN50, half off the annual subscription with promo code SGPN50. So 25 for the month and 50 for the year. That's Rhythm, promo code SGPN25 for SGPN50. And a reminder, you can also try it for free for a week by using the 7-day free trial with the link sportscampus.com/RATHMM. We're also brought to you by MyBookie, because MyBookie.ag is the place in every sport. They have the NBA playoffs, they have the NHL playoffs, they have baseball, they have UFC, you name it. You'd also use props and bet on props in every game. You'd also easy deposit with crypto and use lightning fast payouts with that as well. And a reminder, you could also use it from total locations. And a reminder, last but not least, you also can use the promo code SGPN when you sign up for a new account and get a 100% odds match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through all 11 games on the Monday card. Now it's time for the Lock and Dog picks. Lonte, I'll let you go first. What's going to be your Lock and Dog for the show?
Yeah, so let's go back to the top of the card. I'll take Detroit as my lock. I mean, like I said, they've been playing extremely well, taking advantage of their schedule. They've won 8 of 10, 7+ runs in 7 of those 10 games. I like Job. He's coming off of a really bad start, so I think he'll settle down. He's been good at home. I don't really trust Tanner Houck. He's got 5 straight losses. The hit rate's been fluctuating, not good on the road. So I think Detroit can handle business at home with this short number. For the dog, I'm going to go with being lively at home, where Cleveland's been, white hot, 10-4 at home. They scored 5+ runs in 6 of the last 7. Milwaukee, kind of up and down. They struggled offensively over the last few series, but I think Cleveland can go well here. Lively can just, he doesn't have a lot of swing and miss stuff, but if he can just keep the ball in the infield, I think he'll be fine. He's been steady at home, so let's keep it that way. So I like Ben Lively and the Cleveland Guardians at home, plus like 120-ish if you could find it.
Yeah, so for my lock, I'm not going to get too creative with it. I will go with the Rangers -1.5 at -126. Congrats to Colorado. They won a game. You're still one of the worst teams I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I do think the Rangers will play well here. They were pretty good over the weekend as they won the final 2 games against the Tigers. The offense finally woke up. They scored 16 runs over the last 2 games. So I think they can go after Dollinger. I think you're looking at a good spot for Malo to keep pitching well. We know the Rockies are 2-17 on the road, and I like the price here. Give me the Rangers -1.5 at -126 as my lock. For my dog, what did I want to go with here? Because there were not many things I was really tempted by. You know what? Yeah, I might get a bit greedy with this. You know what? No, I'll play it safe. I thought about it, decided not to. I thought about the Diamondbacks -1.5, but the Giants I think will hang in there. So give me the. You know what? Yeah, I'll go for it. Give me the Nationals on the money line at around +1. I found +150. I like the price. I think that it's a good spot. Holmes, I think, has not been very good lately. I think you're looking at a good opportunity for Irvin, who's been pretty good over the last month or so. The Braves, though, something off with that team. They keep approaching 500 and then falling apart. But I don't really like how they've been hitting lately. They were not impressive at all against Pittsburgh, and I do think that the Nationals can make this interesting for at least one game. So give me the Nationals at +150 as my dog for the show. Lonte, I'll ask you though for your home run pick. What do you like for the games on Monday?
Yeah, let's go Pete Crow Armstrong.
Yep.
I think he's going to go well. We talked about Quantrill's struggles as of late. He's just coming off hitting a home run actually today. He's been hitting the ball extremely well. He's got a 4-game hitting streak going. He's had a hit in 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of his last 9. So he's been seeing the ball pretty well. I think he'll mash and have a couple of hits. I'll be taking his alternate. Obviously, if I take the home run, I'm going to take his alternate bases as well. So yeah, I like Pete Armstrong to have a really good showing tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, I'm never going to push back on fading Quantrill in the home run market. I feel like Quantrill might get shelled in that one.
Yeah.
For mine, I just want to quickly see how Job's been doing in home runs allowed. He's allowed 3 home runs in his last 2 starts, but I'm wondering if I want to actually go for a Boston hitter because I've not liked that they've been performing offensively lately. Thought about Bregman, decided not to do that. Instead, I think I am going to go with a Ranger because I do think that it's a good spot against Dollinger. Give me Corey Seager, who I think's just been hitting well since coming back off of the IL. I think it's a good spot. Seager is a guy who, even when the team's struggling, I think is always consistent. He's batting 300. He has 6 home runs. He's been solid lately. 2 home runs on Saturday. So I like how the power bat's been waking up recently. He's also on a decent hit streak, actually. He has had at least 1 hit in, it's at least 5 in a row. It could be more than that, but let me just check. I think it's 6 in a row at this point. So I like how he's been performing. We'll see if he plays in the game, but I think that he's going to look sharp. He did not play on Sunday. Might have wanted to give him a rest, but keep that in mind. I think Seager is a good option if he plays. Give me Seager as my home run pick for this game. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. You can find me on Twitter, Reichel Radio. Find him on Twitter at XXLonteXX. Till next time, good luck to all of you and all of